Hello, East Texas, and thanks for being here for CBS 19's Women's History Month special. I'm Dana Huey. Well, here in the Piney Woods, women shape our area, from leaders in education to sports superstars. And that brings us to our first groundbreaking woman, or teen. We've talked about strong women throughout March, but they don't get much tougher than Tyler's own Jocelyn Bravo. At just 14 years old, she's traveled all over Texas, competing in tournaments, and is hoping to expand the sport right here in town. Jimmy Searfoss has the story.
Jocelyn's last name is on the gym. But when people hear about Bravo's boxing, they think about the others who share the name. For now.
Yeah, I got 3 daughters. The other one's boxing, but this girl right here, I box.
Jocelyn laced up her gloves for the first time when she was just 7 years old.
And there was one day that my dad put me in the ring. I just fell in love with it since then.
Yeah, she no care. She fight men's, boys. She no scared nobody.
And she's punched her way around Texas ever since, with a family where excellence is the standard.
Just like, everybody else, we walk and speak. She was born into it, so it's kind of, same thing for her as walking, so.
Her dad's been holding the mitts for decades. Her older brothers, each professional boxers in their own.
I'm gonna be better than them, hopefully, if I put in that work and, yeah.
But no Bravo woman has ever stepped into a professional ring. At least not yet.
I want to get known for my national fights or Olympics fights, and then I want to go pro.
What age you want to go?
18.
She's got a few years and will spend them training with the other boys with the same dream. You see, Bravo's trains 70 boxers, and just a handful of them are girls. But it's not for Jocelyn's lack of trying.
Yeah, I got friends in here coming, so like everybody can do this sport. It's a sport for everybody.
Since the rise of women's boxing stars like Clarissa Shields, the Serrano sisters, and Katie Taylor, women's boxing is starting to grow faster than it ever has. Jocelyn is ready to see that kind of growth right here in the Rose City, and isn't scared to set the example either.
Yeah, I like when they watch me and then they tell me that they're trying to be like me. Don't be shy, don't be scared. I'll be here and I'll help you out too.
So more girls can have and achieve the same dreams as Jocelyn Bravo.
I want to go pro and be undefeated and be a world champion.
Jimmy Searfoss, CBS 19.
Texas is home to 1.25 million women-owned businesses, and the Governor's Commission for Women says it's committed to helping them thrive. And one of those talented entrepreneurs taking the bull by the horns and making a name for herself in chic Western wear calls East Texas home. Saddle up as I introduce you to Shelby West. As the sun goes down in this East Texas town, this is where you'll find the West boys. Roping and riding on their East Texas ranch with their mom, proudly supporting and watching every shot out of the gate.
The boys, they rodeo, and we're just a rodeo family.
Those 3 rodeo boys became the inspiration behind Shelby West brand, 3 Sons.
And when we would go to the rodeos, I would just see all the young girls and moms out there with denim jackets, and I just thought they needed a little something extra.
For her ace in the hole, she chose Pendleton fabric to adorn the denim jackets.
So I just thought I need to add some fabric to the back, and I chose to add some Pendleton because it's just that iconic brand that's been around for 3 generations. And I love the history of Pendleton, so I created the first jacket. And once I created the jacket, I started to get compliments on it. And my husband and I took an anniversary trip down to Big Bend with our horses. And when we were on that trip, I kind of just thought, this is the start of this brand I want to create, and I need to get pictures for the website. And it just kind of evolved from there.
Her background in graphic design and the love of her 3 sons spurred a meeting that changed her life in Round Top. For years, Shelby was shopping in the Texas town where country chic meets arts and culture. During this visit, she met the owner of Kimosabe, a luxury Western brand.
And she asked about my brand that was on my Kimosabe hat that I purchased back in 2020. And she said, tell me about your brand. And I thought, Well, it's a family brand, but it's also this clothing line I have, and it was a dream of mine to pop up with them. I secretly had already been in the store and known all about them, so I was like, scrolling my phone and showing her my website, and she's like, you should come pop up with us.
And from there, Three Sons really started to take off, ultimately leading her to the Yellow Rose.
So one of the days I was with my college girlfriends, and it was the day we were shopping, and I had on my whole, my skirt, my vest, and I thought, what if I ran into Kendra Scott? And we walked into one of the stores, and I immediately saw her, and I thought, oh my goodness, there's Kendra Scott. I couldn't shop. I mean, I got it in my head that this is the opportunity that I've been waiting for. I would love to present my brand to her, and she's an entrepreneur herself. If anyone gets it, Kendra Scott would get it. So kind of said a little prayer, give me the right words, and I just went up to her, I introduced myself, I showed her my skirt, showed her my vest, and the next thing I know, the assistant that was with her, she got my information and she said, I'd love to purchase a skirt and a vest for Kendra, and I thought, did that just happen?
But that's not where this cowboy or cowgirl tale ends.
So a week went by and I got a message on Instagram, and I'll never forget it. We were on our way to a football game for my boys, and I showed up at the football game. I know there was a football game, but I was completely checked out because I had read the message from her assistant, and it just said, Kendra is loving her skirt and her Three Sons vest and would love to collaborate with you on the future in her Yellow Rose stores. And I think I read it 100 times.
And within days, Shelby shipped out 2 big boxes of Three Sons designs to the Yellow Rose store on South Congress in Austin. And now her denim jackets, vest, and Shelby skirts are in all Yellow Rose by Kendra Scott stores.
It's just unbelievable to me still. I can't even believe it's happening.
And Shelby is back at Round Top this month, launching something new, a shorter version of her skirt. She says there's no doubt that shows like Yellowstone are making cowboy chic a very hot trend, and she believes it's not going anywhere. A powerhouse leading a local university. When we return, we'll look at the legacy of Dr. Julie Philly. Welcome back to CBS 19's Women's History Month special. This year's national theme is Moving Forward Together, women educating and inspiring generations. And our next trailblazer is the definition of just that. Dr. Julie Philly is the first woman to lead the University of Texas at Tyler, and she sat down with our Jesus Martinez to share her journey, her vision for UT Tyler, and the people she credits for her success.
To be the president of UT Tyler is the greatest honor of my lifetime.
That honor came from a simple 3-lettered word, yes.
I started saying yes to a lot of opportunities that I had. I thought for the rest of my life I would be a doctor.
And that's where Dr. Philly's career began, in the medical field, one that's known for giving back.
So I ended up actually starting in nursing, and then decided really what I really wanted to do with my life was to become a medical doctor, became a physician, and moved away, went to medical school in Houston, and did some other training in Baltimore, moved back to Dallas, and ended up back in East Texas.
Dr. Philly is a native to the area, having grown up in the small town of Overton, Texas, where the dream of going to college first started.
I would order catalogs from different universities and dream about what it'd be like to go to college and get a higher degree.
And that dream led to a series of yeses that shaped her career.
At that point, never thought I'd go to medical school. And now, to be a part of a team that's bringing those opportunities to people like me is the dream of a lifetime.
A dream.
Last year, I still pinch myself every day that this is real and happening to me.
That is still cinematic 9 months into the job.
I am just so fortunate and so blessed to have the opportunity to serve this region that I grew up in and love so much.
Her journey is deeply rooted in faith, family, and hard work, values instilled by strong women in her life.
I certainly look at my mother. I look at my Aunt Gloria, who we call Glow. I look at my grandmother, and I think about all had different unique lives and challenges, but really supported me and supported other women.
As UT Tyler's leader, Dr. Philly is focused on growth, community impact, and student success. Last month, she presented her vision to the UT System Board of Regents in Austin.
Tyler is going to see from us in East Texas is that we are going to revitalize this campus. We're going to create a unified entrance where people know that they're welcome here and can succeed here. Lots of great signage, and again, lots of focus on degrees that matter and translate into a job and into the workforce.
By 2027, UT Tyler's projected to exceed 13,000 students. A key part of that growth is the medical school.
So actually proud of this coat because this is the signatures of the first class of the medical school, all 40 of them on my coat, and I'm probably going to keep this the rest of my life. It's just an incredible memento of something that's historic here in East Texas.
Dr. Philly says the university's nursing program is among the largest in the state, making up a quarter of UT Tyler's student body.
But we are also training teachers. Anyone that needs a teacher, we want to train the highest quality educator that we can to educate our kids.
Dr. Philly hopes her leadership leaves a lasting impact, not just on UT Tyler, but throughout East Texas.
Kind of surreal that it's happening to me, but you know, one of the things I love about this job is when I look outside and I see all these students, I'm just reminded about how much hope there is.
Thank you, Jesus. Well, all month long, we've been highlighting female trailblazers in our community. And one organization, Women in Tyler, does just that year-round by honoring local women and their accomplishments. CBS 19's Robert De La Garza spoke to some of this year's honorees about how they're paving the way across the piney woods.
For nearly 3 decades, the Women in Tyler Committee has celebrated the incredible work of women in the Rose City, honoring those who make a lasting impact and change lives for the better.
It empowers other women to see that we can do anything that we set our mind to.
Co-chair committee member Maxine Caldwell says the organization aims to inspire young women and provide greater opportunities for mentorship and inspiration.
It's about setting an example for young women and young girls to see that there are women that look like them, women that they may aspire to be like.
The organization is centered around Women in Tyler Day and is highlighted by an annual luncheon. This year's theme is Women Who Empower.
The women that we selected have been instrumental in their careers, being a leader and being inspirational in their endeavors.
Like one woman who made history as the Rose City's first female mayor, Barbara Bass, who was recognized as a member of the 2025 Women in Tyler honorees.
I was very honored to be the first woman mayor of Tyler, but to me, that's only a success if we have other women that are qualified that step up and run and get elected.
In her stint as mayor, she navigated through challenges like the Great Recession by keeping Tyler financially sound, marked by strong community engagement and a vision for the city's future. She broke barriers and paved the way for women in leadership, inspiring others to dream big and rise to the challenge.
You want to open the doors, but you want to make sure you keep those doors open and reach back and encourage others to also step up.
This year, she is being recognized by the Women in Tyler with the Judith Guthrie Award, which highlights someone for a lifetime of service.
Because it means I've been recognized for the impact I made in the community for many years, and it makes me want to just continue to work to make Tyler an even better place to live.
Another trailblazer being honored by Women in Tyler is founder and president of Shine, Susie Shepard, a nonprofit dedicated to supporting single moms in faith, family, and finances.
Helping women that are single moms be seen and the need be recognized as its independent need.
Shepard says she founded the nonprofit after her own experiences as a single mother. She shared the silent nature of single motherhood and the difficulty of expressing their need.
Helping single moms even be able to say, hey, I need help, is the first hurdle for any mom to get help. And that's really hard for most of us to admit.
She says some of the most rewarding moments include helping women find community support, housing, jobs, and counseling, empowering them to build better lives and stronger futures.
Every woman faces a challenge of some kind in her life. Every woman or every person, I would say, no matter what you see right now, I believe that you're created for more than just what you're experiencing, and that you can have hope to keep going and to keep trusting and to keep walking, because I think that there's brighter days ahead.
Robert De La Garza, CBS 19.
Still ahead, Women's History Month is taking CBS 19 to Kilgore College, where strong women have been leading the school to new heights. Welcome back to our Women's History Month special, Trailblazers, Women Shaping East Texas. This month, we're celebrating the incredible contributions that women have made across all fields, and that includes sports. At Kilgore College, the impact of women in leadership is especially evident. Our Serenity Douglas has more on how these women are breaking barriers and shaping the future.
Kilgore College is making history with a trio of powerful women in leadership.
I think it starts at the top with our president, Dr. Brenda Kays, and the job that she has done in hiring her cabinet or her staff. She has quite a few female leaders up under her, and I think that speaks volumes.
Brenda Kays is the first woman president of the college, with Stacey Martin as vice president, and then Courtney Pruitt as the first black female athletic director.
I feel like it's great for people, again, to see people like them of their same gender in leadership roles. And so by the college board of trustees being willing to elevate women into leadership positions, it sets an example.
Now, being the first often requires more than just talent. It requires confidence, preparation, and the ability to lead by example.
Because it's uncharted territory, it's just everybody's so accustomed to it being a male-dominated field, and so you kind of get challenged more than what you should, and so you have to have confidence and you have to show yourself and not be what they're expecting you to be, but be better.
Representation matters. When women see other women in leadership roles, it reinforces that they belong in those spaces too. And for them, it started at home.
One of the key parts for me has been the role model I had in my mom growing up.
I got it from my mom, is you have to be twice as good.
She spent 50 plus years in public school education, and the last 20 or so of those years she was a superintendent.
Not only do you have to be twice as good, you have to carry yourself in a certain manner. You have to do your homework, you have to put in the work.
Their leadership isn't just about breaking barriers, it's also about supporting and empowering the next generation of leaders.
I have a 14-year-old daughter, and so I want to set the example of there are going to be tough days, but no matter what, you got to keep getting up on your feet.
Women's History Month is about celebrating the progress made and the leaders who continue to break barriers, ensuring the next generation has even greater opportunities to succeed.
It should be highlighted because women have fought so hard to gain the rights that they have now. So women's rights are important because we don't have anybody to fight for us. If we're not going to fight for us, then nobody else will.
Reporting women's history in Kilgore, I'm Serenity Douglas, CBS 19.
Well, we all need someone in life who believes in us and pushes us to be the best version of ourselves. And for so many over at the UT Tyler School of Nursing, that person has been Dr. Barbara Haas. As Will Riddell reports, she's dedicated her life to serving her students and faculty, and she is always thinking about how her team can take better care of East Texans.
You know, I don't know a time that I didn't want to be a nurse.
In a world where women can become anything they set their minds to, for Dr. Barbara Haas, the Dean of the School of Nursing at UT Tyler, the answer was always clear.
I have a picture of when I was 4 years old, and I had my little nurse's cap on, a little cape, and I truly don't remember wanting to do anything else. I think I played around with the idea of doing something else once or twice, but I always came back to nursing.
The decision to continue down that path led Dr. Haas to the UT Tyler School of Nursing, which is celebrating its 50th anniversary this year. She's been with the nursing school for over 30 years, meaning she's mentored countless students and even a couple colleagues like fellow nursing instructor Teresa Griffin.
My first memory of Dr. Haas was when she came to the hospital to check me off and make sure I knew that I was doing good patient care. And I was going to get my pills out for the patient, and she said, "And what are you giving that medication for?"
A lesson she's kept throughout her career.
I don't do things nowadays without understanding why.
When a younger Dr. Melinda Herman started teaching at the school, she felt out of her comfort zone and needed support. Dr. Haas was right there.
She just sees potential and she sees strengths and gifts. She instilled confidence in me that I didn't even know that I had.
With Dr. Haas serving in various leadership roles over the years, the UT Tyler School of Nursing has continued to grow, always looking to address community needs such as mental health.
We did add a psychiatric mental health nurse practitioner program a few years ago. Every time we start a program, we don't just pull it out of the air. We do it because of the need, because our community has said to us, we need help.
You feel like when you walk in a room, she cares about you. She's very encouraging.
Both Griffin and Dr. Hermans call Dr. Haas a visionary, always finding new ways to train future caregivers.
She's been able to bring all these new programs to the East Texas area.
Dr. Haas is the lead behind bringing much-needed programs like acute care nurse practitioner, flight transport, and a new CRNA program, just to name a few. But even as she plans for the future, Dr. Haas never loses sight of why she started, to help others. Just ask one former student.
And she always just has that perfect word to say to you, to encourage you, that hits you right where you need to be hit at the time she says it. So, okay, I can't talk anymore. I'm getting teary.
Reporting in Tyler, Will Riddell, CBS 19.
Putting cancer disparities in the Black community in the spotlight. When we return, the local organization going above and beyond and the women behind it. Welcome back to our Women's History Month special, and we are ending our show on a serious note by honoring women who have founded an organization right here in East Texas to address cancer disparities in the Black community. CBS 19's Ayana Aird shares their continued efforts to make an impact in East Texas, inspiring change and educating future generations.
The National Black Leadership Initiative on Cancer has been impacting East Texas for more than 3 decades.
In 1992, when we were established, there was a tremendous problem with health disparity regarding cancer. In the African American community, Black women died 2-to-1 of breast cancer, and Black men died 3-to-1 of prostate cancer.
In 1992, Dr. Carolyn Harvey founded the East Texas chapter of the National Black Leadership Initiative on Cancer. Dr. Harvey worked alongside other nurses like Ebby Starling, who has been a nurse for more than 50 years, to tackle cancer disparities in the Black community.
We're finding that the cancer, breast cancer now, is on the rise among young women under the ages of 60.
In East Texas, African Americans had low screening rates, but this organization changed that.
We went throughout East Texas, and the screening rate when we started was about 68% in the African American community. And when we stopped, it was at parity with the dominant population. It was over 85%. So we were, in a small amount of time, we were able to increase the screening rate.
Dr. Shirley McKellar, a longtime member of the organization, has brought her expertise in cancer research to the initiative, using her knowledge to provide valuable resources for change.
I have the opportunity to do cancer research in the military, in particular for women of color, not specifically just for Black women, but women of color. And so the youngest person or soldier that I had to actually lose her life to breast cancer was 23 years of age.
Dr. McKellar emphasizes the importance of early detection, encouraging women to schedule mammograms and perform regular breast self-exams.
We were finding that our people were dying like at 2-to-1 compared to other races, and that still happens today. You know, we die far more frequent with breast cancer with that diagnosis and getting treatment than the other population does.
Whether it's speaking with students in East Texas, visiting churches, or partnering with organizations, the National Black Leadership Initiative on Cancer continues to lead efforts in raising awareness and improving access to cancer care for minorities.
So we are the premier group to work with that minority population here in East Texas and continue that legacy of educating and teaching our people, our community.
In Tyler, I'm Ayana Aird, CBS 19.
Trailblazers, women empowering East Texas, and this is just a few of the women in our community going above and beyond and making a name for themselves and other women across the Piney Woods. On behalf of all the women right here at CBS 19, thanks for tuning in to our Women's History Month special. We hope you enjoyed it. Have a great day.